On the underside, I've already ran the wire through here, so now we just need to disconnect, or we need to connect it to the supplied wiring harness, which is in here. So this should plug right in. Take this over here, plug it in. We're gonna make this look nice and neat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tuck the remainder of that wire that's running down. I'm gonna tuck that back up into the hole here, connect it, and then we're gonna run this wire and feed it through. We're gonna follow the same path that I used for my radar jammer install. We're gonna follow the path here and run it down the inside of the trunk and out through here. This is how you get through the car. It's nearly impossible to get wires through here, especially the ones I'd used for my radar detector. These wires are pretty thick, so I had to go on the outside of it, but it still went in pretty nicely and clean. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna run this through there, and that gets us inside the vehicle. So the way these connections are, it literally only goes in one way. So this one goes with the yellow, and this one goes with the red. So I didn't want to see any wires. I reinstalled this, put the clip back in, and ran the wires all behind this metal. I routed it behind all of this, behind here, through here, and out here. That way everything is completely tucked behind the metal. You can't see anything. I still want to have access to this, just so that way I can plug it in. Plus, if I ever have to disconnect this for some odd reason, it's right here and easily accessible. So I'm gonna plug this in, and I'm gonna probably either zip tie or electrical tape it on the inside or to one of these wires here. That way it's secure and I know that it's not going anywhere. I also decided to electrical tape the connections together. I just didn't want to take the chance of it disconnecting for some odd reason, but they're all connected in there and should be good to go.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I've got my wire run through here. I used a small zip tie and zip tied it to this little hole there. That way it's not flopping around or anything, and I can access it if I need to. So I ran the wire down as such. And to feed it through here, it's a little tricky. On the inside, it's hard to see, but what you're gonna have to do is remove some of this interior trunk lining. That way we can make this a completely clean install. You won't see any of the wires. It's all gonna be tucked behind the lining and it'll be seamless. So what you wanna do is take everything out of the trunk. We're gonna take this out. Put that there for now. And inside of here, you're gonna see a couple different clips. All right, so there's a clip there. There's one there. There's one there. Hopefully you can see that. Right there and above. And right there, you're gonna have to use a Torx bit to unscrew that to get that latch off. So to remove this out of the trunk, you need a Torx bit, and it is a T40. All right, as you can see, I've already removed the clips there and there. So removed that piece as well. In addition to those pieces, those clips, in order to get this trim piece out, you're gonna have to remove this black one too. So there are 4 clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where the trim tools come in handy. They look like this. trim tool, a combination of trim tools and a flathead screwdriver. And then there are Phillips screws here and here. And they're underneath a little cover here, so you just gotta prop the cover up with a small flathead screwdriver and then unscrew that. So everything's loose now the way it sits, and you gotta tug, give it a little tug. There you go. So the only thing holding that in was the weather stripping there, so we will put that aside. And now everything is loose, so it's just a matter of pulling it out of the car. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, there's one more clip underneath there. Forgot. One more clip under there. So, I will get that. Alright, after removing that clip, just kind of give it all a tug. Whole thing comes out. And there you have that. So, once again, as we route the wire through this grommet here, it'll come through this pass-through, and it'll pop out. Let's see here, through here. You can already see my wire right here. There's the other end. So I'm gonna feed that through, and then we're gonna follow these wires all the way across and into the car, into the interior. All right, now I'm moving to the inside of the car. The wires have all been routed properly through the trunk and zip tied accordingly. So to get it inside this part of the cabin, it's a little bit easier if you remove this lower part of the seat. So what we're gonna do is give this a nice pull. There's two little clips. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Give it a pull, and there's a little clip there and there. That's where the seat compresses into those little spots. So you just gotta tug real hard and it pops up and it'll come right out. So it's loose, comes right out. Here we are back into the trunk. So I've routed it. As you can see, I've followed all of these wires. I've come through over here. Basically what I'm going to do is route it behind this part of the leather seat and then down. So you just need to feed it through. Alright, so I've successfully passed the wire through. Again, behind this part of the leather. I basically followed this path behind here. Nothing really to it. I just kind of stuck the wire through, stuck my hand through here until I felt it. I do have a couple other wires running through here as well for my radar system, as you can see. So I'm going to follow that same path basically. Now that I've got the wire through, I'm going to run it through here, down and underneath. You don't really need to remove this trim panel, but I've tucked all my wires underneath here successfully, and everything's real clean. You can't see anything. So once it goes through here, it'll go wrap around here. We're going to remove this trim piece and tuck all the wire underneath and bring it to the front of the dash. Alright, so next I've removed this trim piece. All you got to do is tug up on it. Tug up on it from this corner and then just slowly work your way around all the way down. I'll show you what that backside of it looks like. So there's little clips, compression clips. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one's right there. 5, 6, 7. So they're compression clipped into place. So don't lose any of those. So now what I'm going to do is run the wire under the carpet. I already have several wires underneath here. Hopefully you can see that for the radar system. So they go, just tucks underneath the carpet all the way up, and then we're removing this piece here. A couple clips there on that piece, and that will get us to the underside of the glove box. So